The desert ridge moves before the animal appears. Cold moonlight lies across a red dune. Wind slides grains of sand down one side of the slope, and for a moment the only living thing seems to be the dust itself. Then a low shape rises behind the ridge. It is not tall. It is not naked. Does not step out like a movie monster with exposed reptile skin and oversized arms. It slips forward close to the ground, covered in feathers that shiver in the wind. Its long tail holds level behind it. Its head turns sharply. One foot lifts, and the curved sickle claw is held above the sand like a folded blade. This is the animal behind the name Velociraptor, not the creature most people remember from film, not a giant human-sized hunter racing through jungle corridors. The real Velociraptor was smaller, lower, and stranger. It belonged to a world of dry dunes, shifting dust, and late Cretaceous Central Asia, not the green nightmare many viewers picture. The first correction is scale. The famous movie image made Velociraptor feel like a tall predator standing nearly face-to-face with a person. Fossil Velociraptor was much smaller than that. It was still a predator, still dangerous to the small animals around it, but its threat came from speed, balance, claws, jaws, and body control, not from being a towering monster. The second correction is skin. A real velociraptor should not be imagined as a smooth, naked lizard. Fossil evidence from close relatives shows that many dromaeosaurids had feathers, and Velociraptor itself belongs inside that feathered theropod story. The exact color is unknown. The exact pattern is unknown. But a feathered body is far closer to the scientific image than bare movie skin. The feathers do not make it gentle. They make it more alien. Watch it move across the dune. The feathers along the arms and body ripple in the wind. Dust catches in the edges of the plumage. The tail stiffens behind the hips, helping balance each low step. The head darts, stops, and turns again. This is not a scaled-down monster. It is a different kind of animal. The sickle claw is the part everyone notices. On the second toe, the claw is raised as the foot moves. It is curved, sharp, looking, and visually dramatic. But it was not a magic hook that instantly solved every hunt. Paleontologists still debate exactly how dromaeosaurs used these claws. They may have helped with gripping, pinning, slashing, climbing onto struggling prey, or stabilizing the animal during close contact. The important word is may. Fossils preserve bones. They do not preserve every movement. A claw tells us about shape, attachment, and possible function, but it does not replay a hunt. A responsible reconstruction does not turn the sickle claw into a superhero weapon. It places the claw inside a whole animal, foot, leg, tail, balance, body size, prey size, and environment. Now the desert matters. The real velociraptor is known from arid Central Asian settings, a harsher world than the damp jungle people often imagine. Dust, dunes, dry basins, and sudden visibility changes would have shaped how animals moved and sensed danger. A low predator in this landscape does not need to roar into frame. It can vanish behind a dune, reappear as a silhouette, and disappear again in wind-blown sand. That is more cinematic than the myth. A feathered shape crosses the ridge. Its head lowers. Its body flattens behind sparse desert cover. The sickle claw lifts, then touches down carefully. Sand slides around the toes. The tail adjusts in small movements to keep the body steady. This animal is not weaker because it is smaller. It is more precise. The movie version mixed ideas together. It borrowed from larger relatives and from the public's expectation of what a terrifying dinosaur should look like. But the fossil animal asks for a different imagination. It asks us to replace size with sharpness, replace naked monster skin with feathers, replace jungle pursuit with desert stalking, replace certainty about pack attacks with careful uncertainty. Pack behavior is another place to be cautious. Popular images often show coordinated, wolf-like hunting. Some dromaeosaurids may have interacted with one another, and fossils can suggest social possibilities in some cases, but saying Velociraptor hunted exactly like modern wolves would go too far. The real answer is more limited. Its social behavior remains uncertain, and the fossil record does not give us a perfect scene. Scene script. A better scene is smaller and tenser. A velociraptor moves along the base of a dune. A small prey animal freezes near a patch of low desert vegetation. The predator does not sprint like a monster through a hallway. It lowers its body, its feathers flatten in the wind. The head locks on. The tail balances. One foot lifts, claw raised. Then the movement is sudden but brief. Sand bursts. The predator closes the distance and grapples close to the ground. The sickle claw is part of the contact but not the whole story. Jaws, body weight, forelimbs, claws, balance, and struggling prey all matter at once. The reconstruction must remain cautious, but the image is still powerful, not a giant movie beast, but a feathered desert hunter using its whole body. The skull gives another clue. Velociraptor had a long, narrow head compared with the heavy skulls of larger predators like Tyrannosaurus. Its teeth, jaws, and body proportions suggest a very different predatory style. It was not built to crush like a giant tyrant predator. It was built for a smaller scale of hunting, speed, agility, and close control. The feet tell the same story. Long legs, grasping toes, and the raised sickle claw create a body that seems made for careful placement and sudden contact. The feathers may have had roles in display, insulation, balance, or signaling, but the exact function in Velociraptor cannot be reduced to one simple answer. This is the pattern of real paleontology. A fossil changes the picture, but it does not give every color. A bone tells us shape, a relative can suggest feathers. A trackway, a skeleton, or a famous fossil interaction can suggest behavior, but the final reconstruction must leave space for uncertainty. That uncertainty does not make the animal less interesting. It makes it alive again. The movie monster is simple, big, scaly, clever, and terrifying in a human space. The fossil animal is stranger, smaller, feathered, arid, land-adapted, and visually closer to birds than old reptile cliché. It is not a downgrade, it is a correction, return to the dune. The moon is fading now. Dawn begins to turn the sand from black to red. The velociraptor crosses the ridge alone, feathers lit at the edges, sickle claw lifting and lowering with each careful step. It is smaller than the legend, lower than the monster, quieter than the movie, but it belongs to the real ancient world. A feathered predator of dust, balance, claws, and uncertainty. Not less interesting than the creature people imagined. Stranger.